everybody. Welcome to our next edition of our Facebook Live. I'm super excited to have an amazing doula here who is part of an incredible network. We welcome Kalina. So, Kalina, thank you so much for spending the afternoon with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, a little bit for you guys to have information about Kalina. She is a doula, like I was mentioning. She is the owner and the lead doula of the Graceful Mama Doula Network, where she supports families going through pregnancy, birth and postpartum with a calm, grounded presence after witnessing her own transformative, compassionate care that she had. She wanted to be able to provide that for other families. She felt like being called to being a doula was, a very important aspect of her heart, and she wanted to make it was affordable and available to all families, not just those who could afford it. So her network now, she has many different doulas. She'll dive into that a little bit more, but one of the unique things that I find with her is that she does accept individuals who are on Missouri Medicaid. She also bills private insurance too. So these are services that now can be used via your insurance, and of course, cash services are also probably available. But it just kind of helps remove the barriers for patients and just increase that high quality care that all women deserve as they are going through these monumental aspects of their life, and just to be well supported. And that's exactly what her team as herself does. So she also mentors new doulas that help to build a community like all throughout the St. Louis area. They all work with heart, skill, and just create a culture for humility. So thank you so much for offering all of those amazing services. If you don't mind, kind of tell me a little bit, like how did all this come to be for you?
Yeah, so I have 5 children of my own, and my husband and I went through some losses, and so I think that journey, that long journey, is kind of what ignited just learning all the things that were lacking as far as support goes for moms going through all different types of pregnancies and deliveries. Also, just being involved as a teen mom, I was involved with a pregnancy care center that really like ignited the service side of things for me. Just getting that help from them as a teen mom and kind of growing up in that environment, I guess you could say, just like learning what it feels like and what it means to have support that's really intentional. And it's a little bit different than doula work, but it's still kind of the same. It's just like lifting moms up and teaching them all of the resources and things that they have. And so that kind of started it. Once we got towards the end of our childbirth journey and my husband said we were all done, I needed something. I think as moms we can get lost really easily in motherhood, and I needed something, and I felt very strongly of I knew I wanted to help support moms, and we hired a doula with my last, and I just knew that that was what I was supposed to branch out to and really take off with. So, yeah,
That's amazing. So how long have you been doing this then?
so I'm on year 3 professionally. Beforehand, it was more just like friends and kind of not really like a professional doula in any way. But for 3 years now is when I started Graceful Mama, and it's just kind of branched off from there.
So, okay, speaking of Graceful Mama, then where all do you guys service then? What are the areas that
So
you guys involved?
we service really within like 2 hours of St. Louis. We can branch out a little bit further than that depending on where the moms are at, because we have some doulas on our team that are as far out as Troy, Missouri. We have a doula in Illinois. But generally, like within 2 hours is really our range. I know like one of our doulas is currently supporting our mom in Kansas City. So like we're willing to make exceptions if we can make it work. But that's generally like Illinois side or Missouri side really doesn't matter. It's
Yeah,
just in that 2 hours.
yeah. So for maybe those who are viewing who are kind of unfamiliar with what a doula is, do you mind just like explaining what that means?
Yeah, we're kind of like your pregnancy, birth, postpartum coach. We're here to provide just emotional support, connect you to resources, informational support, guiding you on like making sure you understand all of your options and all of the things that you can encounter during pregnancy and childbirth. During labor, we're there just to coach you through the entire process of childbirth and give you all the tools that you may need, and really just offer that like educational side of things as well as physical support. And I know for me, I'm trained in as a high risk doula, so I encounter a lot of hospital births. So that's another kind of aspect of what we do, is help get moms through those higher risk pregnancies.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, so, and by doing that, like, how did you become a high risk? Like, how does that work?
So I love home births. Home births are beautiful and they're wonderful, but I personally always felt really called to the hospital environment and the support that is more associated with hospital environment. So from the get-go, that's really where I've been and where I've learned the most. And so from there, I decided I wanted to expand my education, and I got certified as a high risk doula. It's just an extra certification that I did. Um, Deep dive into those more difficult pregnancies.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's very clearly a need, as we're seeing high risk pregnancies are, by numbers increasing and things.
Mhm.
So I love that. So based on your experience, where do you feel like moms, families gain the most support from a doula, like actually being pregnant or being present?
That's so That is a really hard question, because I feel like as doulas, our support is so personalized to the families. So there are births where we're their person. I mean, we are hands on, we are advocators, we've given them all the knowledge we can, and we're supporting them physically and emotionally. And that's really where our role is in that birth environment. Maybe they don't have anyone else to support them, so we are their person. And there's other moms that really just need our educational aspect. And I have clients where we deep dive during pregnancy and just talk over game plans and different things that might pop up during labor, and they go to the births themselves. I mean, it really just depends on the family. I would say the probably overall, just having somebody that is knowledgeable in the field, that understands what they're going through and can just be present with them, and just acknowledge what they're experiencing. Just having somebody say, I get you, I understand what's going on. Here are things that we can do to fix it, or make it better, just whatever the case may be, enhance it.
It was funny. I was talking about this Facebook Live last night to some friends, and one of my mom friends, she had a doula present at the birth of her first, or both of her kiddos, but this is in reference to her first one. And so she had a birth plan. Like she didn't really want to use an epidural. She didn't want any of those things. It was the hospital setting. And her doula was like, now dad, you're going to want to like come in and save the day. You're going to see her in pain. You're going to see her, all of these things. You're going to want to save it. And I need you to just remember, this is her plan. This is what she is wanting. And we need to support her in that. And she said her doula stepped out for about less than a minute to use the restroom or something. And she was like, what do you think? Do you think I should just go ahead and get an epidural? He's like, yes, just go ahead and get an epidural.
Yeah.
And she was like, I was so thankful, because in that moment, she was like, I wasn't thinking right. And I knew that I had a plan. I knew I wanted to, but I just wasn't able to think right. And so my doula came back in and said, no, remember, this is what we're doing, and this is why we're doing. And they were all like, oh, okay. She goes, but had I just leaned on that, like we would have diverted my original desires and plans for what she wanted this to look like.
Yeah. And that's a real thing. Dads really have a hard time watching their spouses, partners in general, have a hard time. And it's an intense situation, but reminding those families that there's so many things we haven't tried yet. You have all these options. Let's try them before we deviate from what you had really originally wanted. But then if it is necessary, there's no reason to suffer. So labor and delivery is so unpredictable, and there's no reason for suffrage. And so making sure that they understand you have these options, let's try them. If they're still not working, then maybe we do need to utilize something, because birth is unpredictable. You just never know like how much you can sustain. So it's just about providing all of the options and making sure the mom is really heard in her position on things. So
So here's kind of, and somebody asked me this, and I was like, gosh, I'm really not certain. So if a pregnancy, gone through all the steps, and there's whatever medical necessary reason that they're like, this is going to be a scheduled C-section for XYZ.
yeah.
What is a doula's role in that? Do you guys still continue to assist? Like,
Mhm.
are you still there doing the whole? What does that look like?
Yeah, so we're still there throughout the whole pregnancy, and most of the hospitals in our area allow doulas in the OR. So we even go with our clients into the OR and really provide just that reassurance. We're somebody that they have built a relationship with through any point of their pregnancy. They can hire us, but usually we're very intentional with how we get to know our clients. So they trust us. We've built a relationship. They trust us. We've walked through all the things. And so just having us in the OR with them to give them the reassurance of everything that's happening is normal, and this is what's going on, and walking them through that is really, really beneficial.
Okay.
And to give the partners the support too, because it's a really scary environment for people that have never been in it.
Mm-hmm. Sure. So what does your services look like after delivery? What things do you kind of do?
Yeah. Yeah, after delivery, we are there. So we have postpartum doulas that are just postpartum doulas that are on our team that will come in and do overnight support, all day support, that kind of thing. Meal prepping, baby care, education, breastfeeding education. There's a lot of benefit to having a doula in the home postpartum. Um, as birth doulas, I am specifically a birth doula. I don't provide the postpartum side of things. I do, however, follow up within the first day or two with my clients, and I usually will do like an in-home one-time follow-up just to kind of walk through the journey of their birth with them and give them that like validation of things of how it went, help them remember all of the tiny details, because it's so hard when we're in that moment as moms to remember the details of our birth sometimes. But having a postpartum doula come in, if the mom is open to that, is just really beneficial. It's a lot different than just having a nanny or a babysitter come in. They are there to focus all on mom and baby and do things like clean, so many things.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, okay, since you guys essentially are contracted with things like Medicaid and private health
Mhm.
insurance, how does that change the landscape of what this looks like for, you know, parents?
Yeah, so being in network with Medicaid has been huge for families. It's a way to provide families that doula support can be expensive. I mean, on average, you're looking anywhere from newer doulas usually charge around 5 or 600, which is still a pretty big expense for families. All the way up to there's doulas in the area that are charging $2,000, and it's worth every penny, but it is an expense that some families just can't afford. And Medicaid provides, like, we direct bill to them. So we're in network providers, and there's zero out of pocket for those families. And then private insurance has jumped on the game. And now some of them, it's more of a reimbursement. So the clients will pay us out of pocket, and we provide specific paperwork and all of the insurance codes that they would need, like a super bill essentially,
Mhm.
and a receipt. And then they will get reimbursement from their insurance company after delivery. But there are private insurance companies now that we can also direct bill to. So, outside of deductibles. And on my end, we don't charge copays or anything. So, um, that's really beneficial. It just opens up the accessibility. And I knew getting into this that being accessible was so important to me. This line of work it's so influential and beautiful and so important that creating that accessibility and finding other like-minded birth workers that were willing to kind of take a step back and say, okay, maybe we can't charge this client full price. And money is great and we all need money, but there's also so much more importance to this work than just financial gain. So I knew right off the bat that that was a big thing I was going to focus on, was being accessible.
Absolutely. I didn't even know that there, until like meeting you, I didn't even know there was options for that to be covered. Like, you know, my oldest is going to be 13 this summer and my youngest is 7. And I just remember all doulas that I had interactions and contact with at that particular point in time. It was just out of pocket expense, right? Is this kind of a newer thing or has this been around for a while?
It is. It really has just started within the last like 2 years, but not even a full 2 years. And it's a hassle. The doula world is changing rapidly. And it is a lot different. A lot of the doulas that have been at this for many years don't even want to touch insurance because it's just, you run the risk of not getting paid at all sometimes, and the hassle of like learning how to bill and learning all the codes and that kind of stuff. But yeah, it is pretty new, and insurance companies are they're popping up more and more now with coverage, so it's really starting to take off.
Yeah, that's amazing to know for sure, and like such a benefit to a fairly expensive time in most individuals' lives, right? Like, so yeah, I think that's an amazing service that you guys are able to offer. If somebody is like sitting here thinking like, a doula is just not really for our family, what would you tell them?
I would say that a doula is only a benefit, and it does not matter if you feel like you are the most prepared family for having a baby, like you've had babies, you know the process of having a baby. It does not matter if you're that, educated on childbirth and experienced, or a first-time mom. Having a doula is somebody who, just from like woman to woman, we have this bond during that moment. It's just so different. Just having somebody there who is fully aware, fully in tune, has your best interest at heart, understands the environment, understands how to help you manage your partners and your other kids, your providers, and all the things, is just so beneficial. And just having that reassurance throughout pregnancy and postpartum, regardless of your experience in it, is beneficial. There is no downside to having a doula. There is only profit for you in that. It's a really special thing. And I have personally never met a client that was like, I really don't think I needed you.
Right?
It just doesn't happen.
Right. Well, like one thing I can say, like whenever I was going through pregnancies and that kind of stuff, I remember I had friends with all 3 of mine that they brought like a mom gift for me, right? Like, hey, here's some just like post-care things. And especially as being a first-time mom, I was like, well, no, I'm having a baby. Like, you're bringing gifts for my baby. Like that's when I just never realized the amount of support I would need. I think a lot of times too, moms, including myself, like we have this envisionary, like, or invisible superhero cape that we feel like we have to wear. Yeah. And I think just in having that support of somebody recognizing like, you're not alone. You actually don't have to do this all. I got this for you. Like, you just take it easy, because there is your body's so exhausted mentally, physically. You are drained, and it's that one of the happiest times of your life, which is another form of like emotional drainage, right? Like positive, negative, it doesn't really matter. It drains you. And so even just to have somebody who is looking out for you and for your best interests, like before you deliver, during delivery, after delivery, those are real things that I think that, especially when we have, things like postpartum depression and just being able to have somebody who you can talk to and feel comfortable and know that like you're 100% in this, you get this. And I know a lot of people have amazing support systems, but specifically for those individuals that maybe do not, I mean, that's a prime example, but I think everybody could benefit, right?
And one big difference too is that, and I tell a lot of my clients is, I am so excited for you to have a baby. I want you to have the most healthy, perfect baby there is. But my priority overall is you. As moms, we kind of get not forgotten, but it's, oh my gosh, you're having a baby. Is the baby here yet? What color is her hair? Just that kind of thing. And it's like, wait a second, what about mom? You just delivered that baby. You just carried that baby for 10 months, and really we're able to put the focus directly on her and make sure that she's okay. And that's really beneficial as a mom. Just, it's different. It's just so different.
It is. Like, I remember asking friends who had children before me, I'm like, oh my God, those same exact things. How much did she weigh? Like, it's a boy or
Yeah.
girl, like that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
And now my very first question is like, how's mom doing? Baby okay? You know, like
Yeah.
I'm more concerned about them as a pair as opposed to like these
Mhm.
individual entities, right? And I
Yes.
think unless
Yes.
you have maybe experienced that for yourself, especially
Mhm.
first time moms, like this is going to be pretty
Mhm.
instrumental. Like you can read all you want and you can
Yeah.
think all you want, but in the moment things
It's so
are
different.
so different,
And
right?
having somebody there who can kind of explain to like the medical side of things. When we're in the birth environment, we don't leave you. We don't have to leave you. We don't have other patients calling us out of the room. We don't have limitations placed on us by the hospital. We're able to just fully give you all of the true information and education on what is happening, why it's happening, the things that they might offer you, and what the options are around that without any outside, we're unbiased. So, with any outside influence, and that's really beneficial to families as well.
Yeah, it's like having a best friend there who has the
Mhm.
knowledge behind them too, right?
Mhm.
Like your best friend would love on you and want nothing but the best for you.
Mhm.
However, if they don't know how to do that or know the skills or the medical information behind it,
Mhm.
they're kind of at a loss for those things. So,
Yeah.
um, okay, so if somebody was wanting to reach out to you or somebody from your team to maybe they're expecting, maybe they're planning to have a baby, maybe they're about to have a baby, whatever the
Yeah.
situation looks like, how would they reach out to you?
Really, the easiest way is through our website. There's a couple of different like connect with us or set up a consult forms on there, and that gets them directly to us. That's the easiest way, and I can share that link.
Perfect.
It's really quick and simple
Love it.
versus
And what is
anything
your website
else.
called?
It's gracefulmamadoula.com.
Love it. Okay. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
Yeah.
She's going to drop that in the comments. So if you're going back watching this live, or if you're watching this live or going back and watching it on a recording, please make sure you reach out to her. Like I said, I absolutely love that you have a team that spreads out for multiple areas so you can cover a large surface area as well as from even just the financial means of individuals being able to utilize those services.
Mhm.
So thank you for your heart. And because I'm sure there are ways that you probably could make more money than trying to be involved with insurance. So thank you for your heart and just having a heart to serve and just really be that guiding light for these individuals having those amazing moments in their life and memorable ones and just being the voice of reason for all of them. So thank you
Yeah,
so very much.
we're so happy to do that. And thank you so much for setting this up and allowing some more just advocacy around what we're doing and spreading awareness for it. We really appreciate you a lot.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys. Tune in for our next one, but I appreciate your time, Kalina. Hope
Yeah,
everyone
you
has a
too.
beautiful day.
Thank you.